Wow, so it's absolutely amazing to be speaking with you again. I think it's been 2.5 years since we last spoke. Is that correct?
I think it's been exactly 2.5 years. I believe we met December of
Hmm.
2017.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So, would you like to introduce yourself, or should I introduce you?
I'll introduce myself and you can introduce
Okay.
yourself. All right. So I am Chris Ulmer, the founder of Special Books by Special Kids. And essentially, I interview people living with different disabilities and conditions and give them a platform to share what life is like from their perspective.
And I'm Alyssa Porter, real life partner and business partner, and I serve as the executive director for SBSK, which is a nonprofit here in the US. And so I do all of the business admin side. That's really boring in comparison to the really cool video pieces. So
Well, that's amazing because you both are absolutely inspirational people, and you open up platforms to so many kids and adults across the world, and give them that confidence to share their story if they might not have that confidence to do it themselves. And you've built kind of a bridge and acceptance within your platform, and you've really expressed so many different voices across the world. So I like to thank you for that because you're truly inspiration to me and to many others. So yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh no, thank you. I do ask this quite a bit, but I feel like it's such an important question to come across, and many people have different answers. But we all have our own journeys, and so maybe we can have maybe you two have your different answers. So I'd like to hear that. So throughout your journeys, who do you think has been your biggest influence or role model who stood out to you?
I'd like to share that my grandma is my biggest influence. And that's because she holds the record for the amount of children fostered in Philadelphia, the city I'm from.
Wow.
So she would take kids that were in the system and she would foster them and give them love, give them a home. And I think she fostered over 100 children. So all throughout my childhood, I saw my grandma just providing that love for many different types of children and children from all backgrounds. And I think seeing that at such an early age made me feel like that's the norm. That's how we should treat one another.
I think, I don't know that he knows this, but I think Chris has been one of my biggest inspirations every day. I'm not just saying that, but I mean, I have my own diagnoses and I'm in my own personal journey of learning to come to acceptance and find my voice and work through a lot of, learned coping skills and things like that. And Chris really was, and has been one of my greatest allies in my own personal journey and helping give me the space and support that I need to grow and to learn, and the grace, and the patience to do so. So seeing him model behaviors with everyone that we've met and worked with through SBSK, that extends into his personal life too. And I'm just really inspired by him to be a little bit of a better version of myself every day and to be able to then create and hold space for others. So to look outside of myself. And I think that's it's been a really great blessing for me personally.
I don't know if you'll believe this, but I only had to pay her $5 to say that.
That's not true.
Wow. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's amazing because we're in this world together. Why not support each other, And yeah, the people along your journey you always remember because they've been there and they've helped you. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing to hear that, because I'm always wondering, it's like, who really stood out to you in your life? And that's amazing to hear that. So, SBSK is such a massive platform and it's absolutely amazing speaking to so many people across the world. What long-term goals would you like to achieve within the platform that you've made already?
It's really neat because with social media, you can really make data-driven goals. And it's odd to have goals based on followers amount or subscribers amount. But I look at it as every single person who is subscribing to our channel and following our platforms is another person hearing a story and learning about what it's like to live with a different disability. So to me, all of my goals are based on views and followers, because that means more people are seeing these videos and hearing the stories of other people. So I think my goal in 5 years' time is to have 10 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, and I 100% hope that you achieve that, because what you're doing is absolutely making this world a better place, and we definitely need to get more voices and let them be heard, you know. And I 100% agree with what you've just said, every single word of it. So now you've achieved so much, but when you were younger, where did you see yourself in the future, and did you expect to be where you are today?
When I was your age, I wanted to be a professional soccer player, or as you would call it, a footballer. But yeah, that's what I wanted to be. I didn't even become a teacher until I was 23, and I didn't start SBSK until I was 25. So once I realized I wasn't good enough to be a professional soccer player, I was probably like 15. So from 15 to 21, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I went to college. I explored different career paths. So I guess my number one piece of advice for somebody who doesn't know is try many different things to find what you love.
Yeah, that's definitely perfect state, because you know, when you're young, you don't really have that like 100% mindset and the like on what something to do, because I've definitely varied between different things. You know, I've never 100% set on something. I'm still not 100% set on something now, but I definitely like doing this and like what you're doing, so hopefully I'll follow along those lines. So yeah, absolutely amazing. So the last time we met, I think I asked you a few questions, and you said that you would like to expand what you achieved to different countries around the world. So do you see yourself going to many different places around the world after this lockdown's all cleared up?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just it's always been such a huge goal of ours to be able to properly, you know, and ethically be able to go into different countries to be able to help create representation. We get so many applications and interviews from people who live all over the world to talk about, you know, stigma or what disability or diagnosis looks like in cultures and governments and things. And it's so different. You know, you think you have a picture of what diverse opinions look like, and then you look at a global into so many things. And so for us, I think there was a really great learning curve before we felt like, okay, we're able to take this and do it properly and to have the right considerations going into it, to have the support to do it, especially in non-English speaking countries when we don't speak other languages. So I think for us, it's been really great to have this time to learn and to grow so that we're able to continue to build that goal around global representation. And I think whenever the pandemic subsides, that's something that we're really anxious to continue doing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've always got to think of the next step in life, you know. When you've achieved so much, you've always got to think, what else can I do? What more can I expand to? And, you know, it's always great to have that mindset, and you have to think of the future, you know, and yeah, that's I think you've definitely said that topic so well, you know. So on to my next question. What moment in life do you feel most grateful for? You can say many, or you can just say just maybe one that or a group that just one topic. So yeah.
One came to mind. Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine are 100 little moments, and they happen very privately between us. But you know, we keep in contact with so many of the people that we are able to help share their story. And I don't think I'm sorry, I have some music in my throat, but I don't think, I think we always hope that there would be this sort of shift within people's personal circles and their communities after they were courageous enough to share their story and to put themselves out there. But to be able to hear firsthand from people how dynamic those shifts and how real those impacts are in their life, whether it's a school-age child who went from having no friends in school to now being understood and seen for exactly, and appreciated for exactly who they are. Whatever that shift is, I will never get tired of opening an email and hearing someone say, "You'll never believe like this happened." And it's not a reflection of us, it's a reflection of that individual's bravery and putting themselves out there and combating whatever they may have, been facing in their experience or circumstance. But I will never get tired of opening up an email and hearing about our friends, being really loved and embraced in their own communities and circles. I think that that's a really cool, I don't know, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
It does.
I'm grateful for, it's hard to pick just one thing. I do things I love every day, like biking or running. I'm grateful that I get to do SBSK with my life. I'm grateful for Alyssa. So those are just a few things I'm grateful for.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just the small things in life that really are the biggest things that stand out to you. Just a little thing, just that little message of saying, "Well done, you're absolutely amazing." Sometimes that really does stick with you, and it makes you feel, yeah, what I'm doing is good. I'm so grateful for that. It's absolutely amazing. What you've achieved, you definitely deserve that. And so with your Be Kind ethos on your inclusive platform, what would you say you have a wide range of messages, but what would you say that your one message that you stick to throughout, that you're trying to promote throughout your inspirational work that you do?
I would say everybody you meet has the potential to be your friend.
Yeah.
Instead of meeting somebody you don't know and maybe they act a little different, maybe they look a little different, that person still has the capability of being your friend. So rather than going into that relationship from a place of judgment, it's okay to be aware of differences because differences aren't intrinsically a bad thing, but don't attach a negative stigma to those differences. Instead, go into that relationship from a place of non-judgment and get to know them and remember they could be your friend.
Yeah, our mission statement is just to normalize the diversity of the human condition. And I think that is a really steep learning curve for people, just recognizing that there are inherent differences in every single one of us. And that's just a natural part of life across any species, but especially the human race. I think it is difficult for people to recognize that differences are so prevalent within us, but that really gives rise to all of the beauty and diversity in the world. So just trying to retrain, like he said, sort of your reaction and your connotation with difference.
Yeah, because we're all different and unique in our own special way. Even twins are different in their own special way as well. None of us are actually the same. There's always going to be something unique about us that will be brought out in life, and you'll get to share that, and you'll be thanked for it. I find that people go into meeting someone and they look for all the bad things. It's like, do I really want to be mixing with them because they look like that, or they said something? Maybe just look at the good things. You look and you said, that could be my long-term friends, or maybe I could start a relationship. So we have to have a positive mindset when we're going into things, because I've definitely been judged by the way I looked, and I know many other people by it. And I try and live by those set of rules, exactly what you've just said. Maybe look on the good side. So now it's absolutely been amazing. But for my final question, it's actually a massive question, so you might want to take a bit of time to like answer it. So in this world, nothing is perfect, but we want things to change. Now, I would like both of you to answer this question. Maybe you have different answers, but if you could change one thing about the world or the people in it, what would it be?
That is such a good question. My answer would be to have people be more understanding of one another. Sometimes it's hard to believe that in 2020, people judge other people for their disability or their skin color or their class. I wish people would just see people as other humans, and kind of like what we just talked about a moment ago. I wish that everyone would look at one another as just a friend.
Yeah.
I think
And
mine is really similar. Just that we're all so much more alike than we are different. I think I've been on my own personal journey learning a lot around emotional intelligence and what that entails to have the capacity within yourself to experience empathy, to be able to provide support for others in a meaningful way that doesn't center yourself or serve yourself more than it does the other person. And I think we don't talk around emotional intelligence a lot. There's a lot of stigma when it comes to, I think, even just gender. There's all these different ways that your emotional intelligence is sort of impacted and shaped by society wherever you are. And I do wish that it was more common for these types of conversations to happen where there was education. I don't know if it's in schools, but I feel like even parents, aren't given the resources they need to be able to teach emotional intelligence a lot of times to their kids. And so you just end up with cycles of people, oftentimes going through hard things alone because they don't have the skill set to be able to advocate for themselves, to be able to seek and, then also to receive the support they need from those around them. So I think that would be my greatest wish, is that we took more of put more of an investment in ourselves in terms of learning emotional intelligence and how we serve ourselves not only, but also so we can be better friends, family, allies to all those people in our lives. And then in turn, it impacts the way that you approach whether they're a stranger at the time. So I just think it's a really transformational thing. And I wish that it was more talked about and there was less stigma around emotions.
Yeah, 100%, because this world has faced so much problems in the past and even in the present, and we're trying to solve it one step at a time. We might not be solving it in the right way, but we're always learning, and we're trying to make this world a better place at the same time. And I honestly see in the future that this world will become better. It will be treated fairly. We wouldn't judge each other for our skin color or the way that we look or our personality, because I've always stand by this. You always judge someone by their personality. You never judge them by the way they look, because you don't know their background. You don't know anything about them when you first meet someone apart from their look. So maybe you go up to that person and you start speaking to them, and then you'll finally be able to judge them because of their personality. And especially what you've said, we have to try and help all of the people that might not be from a background where they're getting all the support that they need, because we all come from different backgrounds and we all have our own it's hard to put it into words, but we have to try and help each other because we're in this world together, and we have to try and help each other. So
Absolutely.
You've absolutely smashed all of my questions. You've absolutely done amazing. But is there anything else that you would like to speak upon, or do you think that was it? You've spoken, because we have spoke a lot.
Well, you mentioned the future just a few moments ago, and I think after this interview, something I see in your future, I could see you on the BBC or some major news organization. You already seem like a complete professional.
Oh, thank you so much. Because my cause has always been to because I have advocated for anti-bullying, because I've experienced bullying in my life, and it was probably the lowest part of it, and I just never want someone to feel that way again, because I felt like ending my own life, and now I realized I look down on myself now because I realized what I had, and why would I want to give it all away, because mental health is a massive issue, and and what we're doing now, it always links together, because advocating, what you do, like celebrating our differences, that can all link with mental health, and it all links together. And what we're doing, what you're doing especially, you've worked up your platform to help the world, and you've definitely done that, and I wish you all the best for the future, because you're definitely heading in the right direction.
And I wish you all the best. I think advocacy is constantly evolving, so when you go into your 20s and you start your own platform, you'll do it even better than me.
And the fact that you can take something that you can identify as one of the worst and lowest experiences of your life, and not only work through that but come to a place where you're able to tap into that regularly for your advocacy work, that's really hard, you know, and it takes a lot of mental fortitude. It takes a lot of, you know, self-reflection. It takes a lot to be able to put yourself in that emotionally vulnerable space every time you pick up the mantle of these charges that you take on, like anti-bullying, and advocating, you know, for acceptance. So we're just so incredibly honored that you would include us in this, and we're just really blown away by all you continue to do, and are very excited for how you continue to shape your advocacy work in the future. It's really commendable.
Well, definitely when I met you for the first time, you know, it was quite a low point in my life. I was still receiving comments and I didn't feel 100% about myself. And it was such a changing point when I met you, because I heard about your channel. I was looking on all of these different interviews that you did with so many people. And it was just amazing to see that there were more people that felt like I am. And now we can all express our stories and we can all be heard. And we can all have people along with us on this journey, you know, because everyone's had their down point in life and you feel like you can't get up from that moment. But whoever's watching this, if you ever do feel like that now, you know, always reach out to someone, because there's guaranteed a person there to help you and make you feel better about yourself mentally and physically, you know, because it happens to so many people across the world. So again, a massive thank you for what you've done, because you've really changed my life and you've changed so many others.
Thank you so much. And we're excited to see what you do. You've already done so many wonderful things. And I have to share that you seem 100% confident and articulate on camera. My first 4 years, so we started SBSK in 2015. And even when I met you in 2017, I felt awkward on camera until 2019. Last year is when I started to feel comfortable on camera. So you are way ahead of where I was when I started. And you're like 12 years before when I even started SBSK. So you have like a 17-year head start on me. So you're going to do some pretty incredible things.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
For having us. We really do appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you so much for spending your time, because I know time is so precious, especially now in this lockdown, you know. But I thank technology, because imagine what we would be able to do without technology. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't get to so many people across the world, you know. Yeah, I'm just privileged to be in this time today, you know, because every day is a privilege. And, you know, we have to, we take for granted, really. Many people across the world take for granted what they have. And, you know, yeah, even at my lowest point, you know, I always felt like we're in this universe together, and, you know, we have to try and help each other. So that's what I've always stuck by. And, you know, I'd like to thank you again. I know I've said this, but yeah, thank you so much for spending your time with me today.